Native English speakers, do you ever watch movies with subtitles even if the show is spoken in English? If yes, why? 'Cause I can't hear shit. I just feel like my brain absorbs the information better if I'm watching and reading at the same time. My hearing is also trash, so subtitles allow me to know what the person said instead of guessing. Absolutely. Especially with how sound effects and music are these days. I don't want to keep adjusting the volume in an action movie. Shows can be the same, especially on Netflix or Hulu. Ah yes, I see, that makes sense. For me, as English is my second language, some accents are pretty hard to understand, so sometimes I use English subtitles just for that reason. English is my first language and there are plenty of accents that I can have trouble understanding in the right circumstances. To say nothing of when actors just mumble a line really quickly. I can't believe some relatively big budget flicks that cast big name stars that are more or less inaudible due to actors just mumbling their lines. I even suspect that they were directed to talk like that. I mean, you don't make the A-list by being that way. Sometimes they speak so softly you can't hear what they said. Sometimes the whole movie is like that. Most of the time, the lines muttered out are exactly what you needed to hear. They start the sentence really articulated, then mumble it down. Like, I never trusted you since Snidemulched. Yes. And then it's especially bad when someone is dying, like, you know that dying person said something really important to the plot, but between the coughing and whispering, how the heck are we supposed to hear? Anybody who is trying to watch anything with a child in the room will tell you why. Bruh, I'm the kid and my parents are too loud, Lamau, that's why I need subtitles. Mom, could you and Aunt Sharon be just a bit quieter? My mom loves to talk on the phone extra loud when we're trying to watch TV, but God forbid anyone so much as breathes while she's watching The Real Housewives. Are you my daughter? 'Cause that's my wife. Also my wife. Wait, are you me? Yeah, because I chew too loud. I've had to stop eating popcorn in movie theaters because I can't hear the dialogue over my own mastication. I mean, most of the time, everyone in a 2-seat radius of a guy eating popcorn can't hear the movie. One of the only times I have ever walked out of a movie theater was when I was trying to see A Quiet Place. I broke my normal rule of waiting a couple weeks for theater crowds to die down because I was really excited for it, and ended up surrounded by people that A. wouldn't shut the duck up, B. kept munching on popcorn like they'd been starving themselves, and C. kept fumbling with loud-ass candy chip wrappers. The atmosphere of the theater totally ruined the movie for me since, you know, the whole point of the story was that there wasn't supposed to be any sound. I went like a week later and ended up in an almost empty screening room and the movie was much more enjoyable. Hell yeah, auditory processing disorder, baby. I am a native English speaker and I do this. I only do it because I usually have it at a low sound level and want to know everything that's happening. Sometimes I don't want to have the volume high just to understand what is being said. Subtitles are very exact, and also much faster to read than hear. The only time I turn off subtitles is if for some reason the subtitles are out of sync with the audio, which sometimes happens on Amazon. I've stopped watching shows because the subtitles are poorly synchronized with what's happening on screen. I get particularly annoyed when they're early. Dudes creeping through a warehouse and all of a sudden, sound of dead wife's evil twin transforming into a werewolf comes up on the screen, a full 2 minutes before it can be heard. Or when the subtitles are summaries of the dialogue instead of all of it. I've seen a few shows where the dialogue would be something funny witty and the subtitles just give the bare minimum. E.g., instead of "Here comes Mr. Smartass" that the person actually said, the subtitles will read "Here you are, Steve," which is a bit too different emo. I usually watch British media with subtitles because the accents can be rough sometimes, especially Scottish. Within Scotland, Glasgow is the worst offender. Geez, some British accents are so hard for me to understand. I'm glad some native speakers are having the same issue, haha. English is weird like that. In the US, I know a lot of people have trouble with ave and ablation. I have to watch The Wire with subtitles and I'm from Maryland. Yeah, I always have. My husband is used to it now, but I feel like my brain processes the words quicker and I find it hard to sometimes hear it, especially if Therese background music. Does it bother you when the subtitles are sometimes little bit off from the words that they are saying on the movie? Bother? No. But notice? Yeah. Particularly in YouTube videos, where they'll have put the script in as the captioning, but then didn't change it when they changed up a word or whatever in the actual take. Bother? No. Infuriate? Yes. I literally cannot have both because it's like it confuses my brain. I'd rather just mute it and use subtitles, but other people watching don't go for it. I hate when the subtitles spoil something important because I read the words they are gonna say before they say them. Not native English speaker, but I like subtitles on my native language too. I have trouble understanding things through speakers or headphones. Also, why I hate talking on the phone. I can understand people just fine, but I'll have trouble on recorded stuff or call. We rely a lot more on lip reading in real life than we realize. And body language. And general context. And tone. Just yet for millions of years we've been communicating face to face, so we evolved the ability to discern communication even when back then our language might have been no more complex than grunts and squeals. I watch with subtitles because I'll remember it better afterwards. If I watch movies or shows without it, I won't remember it well. Same thing for me, I guess I am paying more attention to the show if I have to read subtitles on the same time. Yes. I have ADHD, so sometimes I don't hear things properly or I don't like for the TV to be up very loud. Sudden and loud noises startle me. I watch everything with subtitles or closed captioning if it's available. Audio processing issues are common for many people, especially those with disorders such as ADHD and autism. My wife and daughter have ADHD, and my other daughter is deaf, so between the three of them subtitles have become a necessity in our household. I just appreciate not having to watch things at full volume. Yes. Mostly because it's really difficult to understand what is being said during important scenes of a movie show when the music is 50 times louder than the dialogue. Yes, because sometimes I can't catch what people are saying when they talk fast. But I am good at reading fast. I started using subtitles because my so isn't a native English speaker. Now I just like it, haha. Same here. It's kinda strange when the subtitles off, I almost feel a little lost. Lol. I have auditory processing issues. Reading is easier. Interesting. I had to look up APD, I didn't even know that was a thing. Were you officially diagnosed with this, or is it something you know you have? I comprehend much more when I'm reading content, as opposed to just watching something. Combining the two is even better, but reading has just been a better learning mechanism for myself. Same. I have known all my life that it's hard to understand people's words, takes me longer to translate what is said so I can respond. But yes, I have an official DX, too. Background noises make things nearly impossible for me. Example, if I'm in a restaurant, I will probably be far more aware of what is said 3 tables over than right next to me. Reading and listening is far easier for me than just listening. COVID-19 has made it very difficult, as well, because voices are muffled and I can't even look at the mouth to try to get the gist of it. Dude. I thought I was crazy. This is a thing? I've passed hearing tests but can't make out what anyone is saying half the time. I mostly have to guess based on context. Watched too much anime and got used to reading the subtitles. Now if I don't have subtitles, I'll still find myself looking for the bottom of the screen. Same. Had to start using it on everything, video games, sports, etc. Yes, when people are sleeping, got to use subtitles. Honestly, have them on for American shows, movies sometimes because of the accents. The occasional word now and again on, like WTF did they just say? So subs help. I didn't like the movie Witch, until I put subtitles on. I couldn't understand a word they said. Definitely better the second time with subtitles. I'll occasionally put on subtitles whenever there's too much noise in my environment or if I didn't initially understand what a character said in response to something.